don't you show me something you'd be ashamed to show? Your dark secrets glow. I won't be your poet martyr. I won't put you into words. I can only try so hard to make your lover's presence hurt. So why don't you tell me your dark secrets, something I would not know? Why don't you show me something you'd be ashamed to show?
God, it's the same weather like in Holland.
Your dark secrets glow. Your dark secrets fill with my desire. Your dark secrets put the flame into my fire. Your dark secrets are the only thing, the only thing, the only thing I want from you. So why don't you tell me your dark secrets, something I would not know? Why don't you show me something? Why don't you show me something? Why don't you show me something you'd be ashamed to show? Ashamed to show. Ashamed to show. Ashamed to show. Ashamed to show.
I got a pie, I'm happy.
I think it's gonna be
I got
nice.
a pie, I'm happy.
You got a pie?
Get the boy a pie. Pie. This is a pie.
I want only a blueberry pie, and I don't know.
How you gonna figure out which one's
Which
blueberry
one's
pie?
You go like that.
If you got blue on you, it's a blueberry pie.
Stuff today, some of it.
No, he said he'd tell us.
We'll see you later. Real cool, man. Real cool. Hey, you're looking good. You're looking real cool, man. Hey, Jan. Jan van Toitje.
Waar ligt hem dan neer?
Welcome to Hammer and Hell, a film about an 11-day stage race in the eastern U.S. called the Tour DuPont.
Let's send these guys off right. Riders ready! We're on the way!
You may be wondering about the title Hammer and Hell. Well, hammering, or to hammer, is an expression in cycling for going fast. And hell? Well, it's a marketing thing. Sounded good after hammer. Actually, I'm hoping old Tip Gore hears about it and thinks it's some kind of satanic carpentry video and bans the thing. Then I can get to go on Geraldo. The riders who came to this inaugural race included some big guns, like Phil Anderson and Steve Bauer of Motorola, prologue winner Eric Brookink, and a talented Z team including the likes of Atle Kvalsval, Jerome Simon, and somewhere between Johan Lammerts mugging the camera and Gilbert de Clos-LaSalle is Greg LeMond. What you see here is the highest elevation in today's out and back stage. There isn't a significant topographical challenge to break up a Cat 4 field. And for those of you who think you have to mange the big gears to ride at the front of a pro field, check out Jos van Aert of PDM. For those of you scoring at home, the first attack of the 1991 Tour DuPont came an hour and a half into the race and was launched by former World Pro Pursuit silver medalist and now Danish amateur number 31, Jesper Warre. That's Jos van Aert trying to get on his wheel. Everyone in the field is curious to see how extensively PDM will defend the yellow jersey so early on.
I think they're going to ride all the way to keep Brooking within 30 seconds to the last day because he's their only real GC guy. If he's just close on the time trial, he can win.
Well, Le Mans and boys here, if they can try, you know, Motorola's going to go.
Oh, yeah. People will attack the shit out of him later. But he can climb with anybody, and he's got a really strong team. If he just stays close.
He can climb? That wintergreen stuff, he can do that all right?
Brooking can climb, don't worry. He won't lose that much time, even on the climbs, to anybody that he can't get back in the time trial.
Yeah.
Anybody who can outclimb him, he can just bury him in the time trial.
Finally, the proverbial flyer materializes. Tonton Tapis' Klaus de Monk breaks away. He gains nearly 7 minutes in a relatively short time over a field that could care less. Eventually, PDM responds.
What they do is they just keep their whole team at the front and keep the tempo up. Basically, that's what we call controlling the race. They just go fast enough that no one else can attack. But they try to keep it in control so that they don't get so tired themselves. And then they'll let the guy stay out there, and towards the end of the race, they'll keep upping the tempo and upping the tempo until everybody will be going almost single file for the last few kilometers, and they'll bring the guy back. The idea is to try to bring him back just before the finish line within the last 1 to 2 kilometers, and then keep the tempo high right to the line. That way, no one else gets away that's a danger to their leader. The risk is if you bring it back too soon, then everybody's already going fast, and then it's just one attack after another. Make sure you get those guys up there and tell them to stay in position, especially Moniger and Engelman. And Swart, too.
Well, right now it's pretty steady, and it's almost like they spend, like I can see Mike using a lot of energy just trying to hold position.
I know.
And it's almost not worth it for him to waste the energy because it's going to go steady. Plus then it opens up into big roads.
Yeah.
I think it'll be steady like this all the way to the finish.
Okay, just make sure somebody's up there, though.
Oh yeah, no, Greg and Alexi and Swart and I were all up there, and then I came back a bit, so.
All right.
No worries.
Davis Phinney is hoping for a pack sprint, but most teams don't want to challenge him. So over the last 20 Ks, there are a lot of attacks. Most noticeably, Z. The blur in the background is Francois Lemarchand attacking, but Roy Nickman of Coors Light is covering for his sprinter Davis Phinney, and he's quickly on his wheel. Then, as another attack is neutralized, Lemarchand goes again. This time, it's U.S. amateur Nate Schaefer and Nickman. No one is able to get away clean over the final kilometers, and the pack remains intact. But one team is noticeably at the front.
Just calling soon, Motorola is at the head of the field. Motorola has 5 riders at the head of the field.
Big train, so I thought. Okay. They'll try to set up a gap on the corner, though. That's what they'll do. They'll try to gap somebody off.
Just reading it out right now. This is Tom 2. Yates is reading it out with Anderson on his wheel. The field is at 1K, 1 kilometer.
every guy is going to sit up.
This is column 2, Anderson at the front with a Coors Light jersey on his wheel.
It'll be Davis. Who was it?
Some guy from Boulder.
Davis?
Yeah.
All right.
PDM 6.
In the final 400 meters, Phinney jumps off Steve Bauer's lead-out. Phil Anderson, on his left, is actually pulling through for sprint specialist Frankie Andreo, seen here disappearing out of your picture. When Anderson looks back under his arm and sees Frankie gapped, he knows Davis has won.
I really studied the finish, and also it was funny, about 25 Ks to go, Swart comes by and he was kind of designated to help me. And he goes, "I'll make you famous." I said, "All right." So it really worked out well. It was kind of funny getting on my old train. It's a different team, but used them to the same effect. I'm sure they're not quite as happy as I am.
This is not the best way to start your morning. 22-year-old Tommy Matush of Madison, Wisconsin wasn't feeling particularly well when he woke up. This wasn't going to be his day.
What for, Tommy? I need that wrench back.
Here's Davis Phinney in his new DuPont Automotive Sprint Leaders jersey.
Very nice. I like the yellow, and I don't know what you call this, peach. Peach, that's a very nice color on me.
PDM would like to have somebody else in the leader's jersey, but have Brooking probably within about 30 seconds. And then they wouldn't have to work to defend the jersey. They could just kind of sit in and cover dangerous riders and then wait until the time trial on the last day. And everybody knows that Brooking is one of the fastest, best time trialers in the world. So if he's really close to anybody, he'll win the race on the last day.
That's right.
Matush's problems continue. Eventually, he'll finish this day more than 20 minutes behind the field.
Gonna do it? Yeah. Okay, pull over.
Over the first several hours, even break attempts were kind of leisurely. No one really wanted to get things started.
Come on, guys!
Oach even takes some time from managing to get some training miles back in the caravan.
Yeah.
Cute shorts.
Awake.
Finally, after more than 4 hours, things get interesting. Nate Schaefer attacks a little harder than he did earlier in the morning. But after 5 minutes, he's caught, and another group goes up the road, led by Dag out of LAURITZEN. But with no one in the break really there to work, it quickly shuts down. Then another U.S. amateur goes. It's Lance Armstrong of Plano, Texas. This 19-year-old has already won a stage race victory in Italy, and the pro peloton is quickly hearing his name. He draws some attention. Coors Light begins the lead out for the Reisterstown sprint. Phinney captures the points. Then on a downhill stretch, two riders attack. It's Andy Bishop of Motorola and Greg LeMond. PDM definitely considers both these riders a serious threat to the overall. After PDM's effort to reel in LeMond and Bishop, another break formed. This one had some real muscle in it, including Mike Engelman of Coors Light, Cavazol of Z, Ron Kiefel of Motorola, and Helvetia's Gilles de Leon. But the break was again brought back by PDM. Then Tonton Tapie attacked. Patrick Roland is best known as Dirk de Wolf's domestique and training partner. He's not considered much of a threat to the overall. Before long, he had more than a 4-minute lead. The pack isn't sprinting here to catch Roland. It's just the Howard County sprint line. Despite the flat, Roland won the stage by 2 minutes and 13 seconds. Greg Orvitz and Dag Otto Lauritsen sprinted for second just ahead of the field. Lauritsen winning the throw. And the little man with the biggest smile on the peloton suddenly found himself in the yellow leader's jersey with a 1:52 lead over Eric Breukink. Some were saying that Roland could be the Vladislav Bobrick of this year's race. Not likely. It's more that PDM let Patrick win so they wouldn't have to defend the jersey. This young Tonton Tapie team was loving the attention anyway.
How you feeling today?
Hot. Not hot as in like I am on fire. It's literally hot out. So.
Phinney had won on a similar circuit to this 2 years ago. It wasn't a very exciting race, and no one thought this would be. Boy, were they wrong. The 20-man break that developed towards the end of this race would see Roland's day of glory come to an end and have a serious impact on the GC. But why don't I just shut up and let you watch the action to the sounds of El Caban.
Riders ready. We're
just in time. The man arrives, 4:59, here to save us all, doing what he does so well. A simple task for him. Why can't we save? Why can't we save ourselves? Pull the blinds, don't let the light inside. Dig a hole, deep bury your head and hide. Stop waiting for the call to open your lips wide. Put your faith on a shelf. It's time to save. It's time to save ourselves. Oh, it's time to save ourselves. It's time to save ourselves. Springtime, and the seed will grow. Planted there long before the snow. Oh, and it's another year. Our heart's an empty shell. I'm guilty too, I fear. It's time to save. It's time to save ourselves. Oh, it's time to save ourselves. It's time to save ourselves. It's time to save ourselves.
Bob Williams, Vice President, External Affairs, DuPont. Bill Newman, Chairman of the Army.
So, after the big shakeup yesterday, several teams were positioned well for the race, and were also getting lots of media attention, which always makes the sponsors happy. Other teams weren't doing quite so well. Motorola had gambled with one real GC rider in the break. That was Bauer. He was the one that flatted and lost 30 seconds to the leaders. Today was a double stage day. The first race would be short, flat, and very fast.
This day going to be really testing.
Tomorrow when we get into the mountain, do you think it's gonna...
That's when the race really starts. Yeah. Today already is in no parade anymore. It's 35 miles per hour. That's mean somebody working hard. A serious race. No more joke.
The next time you're off on a training ride and you think you're ready for a pro peloton, run this next 2 minutes through your memory. This is unedited hammering.
Go for it. That's a good part of the world when you can. Slow down. Go for it.
To put all the action in an 11-day bike race into a 90-minute video isn't easy. To give you an idea, the action you just saw for the last 2 minutes went on for an hour.
Here is the situation of the race at mile 5-8. Rider 103 is alone with a lead of 1 minute on the peloton. Rider number 92 is a 20-second lead on the peloton. The peloton is chasing.
Leading that chase was Helvetia and Coors, and it didn't take long to wipe out that 1-minute gap. Soon the whole pack was heading into downtown Richmond. The fans on hand at the finish were treated to a 3-lap circuit, but no one told the Sayur rider. Then on the last lap, it was another classic Motorola train. Phil Anderson of Motorola may have confidently thrown his hand up in victory, but I don't think he realized how close Bob Miansky was to stealing this race. Approaching the final 100 meters, Ron Kiefel was giving his classic lead out, and like old times, Davis jumped on his wheel. This is where Phinney lost the race. Kiefel was done pulling through and was slowing up. Anderson was starting to come around, and Phinney was boxed. Miansky, far right, was coming off Nico Verhoeven's wheel. Riding unobstructed, he nearly won the throw. So Motorola grabbed the headlines in the first stage of the day. But that evening, in front of a bigger crowd, the two teams squared off again. The criterium didn't start well for the U.S. amateurs, as Lance Armstrong got some road rash about halfway through. But after one free lap, he was back. Then, a four-man break developed, with two Z riders, Sean Yates of Motorola and Nate Schaefer of Team USA. Who should be chasing them down but Lance Armstrong? The Richmond crowd was loving this action. Phinney flatted on the last lap a rider could receive a free lap, so he was able to get his wheel change and get back in without losing a lap. This meant he could still sprint for the points. The break approached the bell lap, and Nate Schaefer attacked. His strategy was to go as hard as he could, make everyone work to reel him in, then let Lance counter off his attack. There was only one problem with his strategy. His move was so strong, no one could catch him. And Nate Schaefer celebrated one of the greatest victories of his career. Sean Yates was second, and Lance Armstrong snagged third.
Got a minute, Lance, I think.
Yeah? Good.
Yeah.
You guys are fantastic.
Thanks.
Tell me, how did it go?
Oh, well, I was a really hard move by 10 guys, and I tried to move up after that. And I think Lance, how'd you do? Third. Who was second? 240 a man. I saw Sean Yates and the other set rider coming up. And then right as they caught, Chris said, Lance is right behind. And I was like, yeah. So we went back for him, and we caught up to him. They were waiting for us. And then we just worked smooth and kept it going the whole way. And then with about 3 to go, or 5 to go, and you crashed. Where'd you crash? I don't know. And then he said, coming up after, with 2 to go, he said, you make the first move. So I attacked right
Sorry,
because they were always going slow. And I got the gap and just zipped through the quick go. And that was the biggest gap was taken. And Lance just sat on, and one of his head riders was cooked. And so Yates was the only one that had anything left. And he didn't. I had a little too much on him there. I was so happy.
Excellent job out there yesterday, guys. Like you said, it was real impressive. I think not only was the stage win what we needed, Bob's shows that he can sprint with anybody out there. Barely lost the stage in the morning. Nathan winning the stage just put a cap on the whole day. But we also moved 2 guys up in GC, and they're really within striking distance, which is good. We have Bobby sitting in 4th. He's right there. He's riding well. He had a good race yesterday. You're feeling good. So what I'd like to do here is, this is a summit finish, and we remember those summit finishes from Italy when we had 2 of them in Italy. So the important part about a summit finish is you got to have a little bit reserved going into the final climb. What I anticipate is PDM trying to keep it together, trying to keep things within reach of Brooking, so that he can go into the climb no less than a minute down on any move, any major move. What I'd like to do is keep Bobby. I'd like you guys to just stay around Eric. You know, don't worry about too much else. Okay, you want to go into that climb fresh, into that final climb fresh. Okay. No major efforts. Stay up front. Realize that, hey, this race is heating up, and it's only going to get tighter and tighter out there. And there's going to be a lot of guys active, especially after 100 Ks. I would look after 100 Ks. That's when it's going to start happening. What we need to do, since we have 2 other guys right up there, is we need to be able to look at springing those guys, you and you, Lance. From about 125 Ks, you've got a couple good hills. You want to get some. You want to be able to get away. Try to put these guys on defensive, and it's an opportunity for you to get some time going into the climb. If you're with a group of guys, which is what you want to be, you don't want to be taking off and trying to big solo or anything. If you're out there and if you see after about 125 Ks, then you start getting into some hills. When you're in a break, if you see like you're just not gaining time, the peloton's still sitting at 30 seconds and you're working hard, then just shut down, okay? Because I don't want you guys working yourself to the bone, going into that thing with just a 30-second gap, and then start climbing it, and 2 miles into it, you're just all over your bikes, you know, and then all kinds of guys are going to be shooting by you. You want to make sure it's a nice, smooth move. You get away crisp, and you start gaining time right away. Like those summit finishes in Italy, that you want to be able to be kind of like a carpet unrolling, faster and faster throughout it. You don't want to be maxing yourself out in that first mile, or you're just going to blow up. You want to stay within yourself and then get faster and faster, because what happens is everybody usually starts off these summit finishes way too fast, and then they end up blowing. And when you blow, you lose all kinds of time. So you gotta ride at your max, but you also want to realize in that last mile, 2 miles, you can make up a lot of time.
How steep
okay?
is the last mile?
It looks like it's about 7-8%. No, it's not anything. You guys all have 23s.
What time are we leaving?
Well, we didn't want to shatter any young minds, but it wasn't 7 or 8%. It was 12 or 15%. But they'd find that out in a couple of hours.
And this is just before this is the top right here, isn't it?
Right. See, it goes up, and then goes up.
Yeah, but it doesn't go like this. Well, it's always straight up.
Yeah, it's East Coast style climbing.
Everyone was talking about the final 8 kilometers and the mountaintop finish. And for riders like Alec Valdsval, this is what they live for. Motorola needed a big day from Steve Bauer if he was to have any chance at the overall.
Elevation change?
Go for 500 meters.
He says it's an 8-kilometer climb, you know?
2 kilometers, staircase.
All right. It's not so difficult, huh?
We'll make that
It's easy.
Huh?
We'll make that.
The beginning of the race was controlled and relaxed, maybe a little too relaxed.
Minutes, 20-second break.
No way.
Oh! Oh!
The bonehead who created the stack of the race is Canadian national rider Ed Kazmarczyk. The result of this crash? Several bent wheels, forks, and 1 broken wrist for Nate Reese. Despite the broken bone, he'd finished the stage 7 minutes and 30 seconds behind the leaders.
I hope with Croswell for the stage, to win the stage, and maybe for the overall for the yellow jersey. But the problem is with Eric Brooking, because he's a strong rider too, and if he stays with Atley on the finish climb, it's difficult for us to win the overall. But I hope Atley can win the stage.
Pack did need to eventually pick up the pace when Canadian amateur David Spears built up a 7-minute 30-second lead. His partner in this break was Tonton Tapi's Gino DeBacher, but as they hit the rolling foothills that Chris Carmichael had talked about in the morning, DeBacher was dropped. The chasing peloton is led by a man Greg LeMond says is worth 2 teammates. It's 37-year-old Gilbert Duclos-Lassalle. 20 kilometers from the finish, Spears would be engulfed by the pack, which was far less concerned with catching this solo rider and more occupied with picking up the pace as they go into the climb to Wintergreen.
Vous faites pas piéger pour aller au pied avec un coup à la con, hein? Vous passez à bientôt? Hein? Vous êtes bientôt? Ouais, tranquillou. Et François, il peut attaquer aussi, hein? Hein? Pour aller se poser devant pour aider Atley, hein? Mais, tout pendant que ça roule pas, tranquille.
His plan to unfold a series of attacks to set up Atlek Vosval. 15 kilometers from the finish, the riders get their first look at Wintergreen. The first to attack is Dag Otto Lauritzen of Motorola, here wearing his Norwegian National Championship jersey. His move only lasts a few minutes before he's caught and then countered by Jérôme Simon. Simon then gets some unusual company, the yellow leader's jersey. Greg Horvitz seems to be working for Greywall today. He's conceding his overall first-place position on GC due to his lack of true climbing ability. The tandem ride casually, waiting the inevitable. Trevor Forrest is joined by Motorola's Andy Bishop. When there is no immediate counterattack, Canadian amateur Gerd Fraser takes some initiative. With less than 10 kilometers to go, Fraser is brought back. The pace is quickening as the riders begin to position themselves for the final climb. As the road begins to ascend, Robert Forrest jumps. After Forrest is caught, another rider counters. It's Greg LeMond. Right behind him, he has in tow Bart Bowen of Subaru Montgomery, Berzin of the Soviet Union, and Lance Armstrong, U.S. Czechs. Armstrong is wearing the most aggressive jersey from last night's Criterion. The four-man break becomes 5 as they're joined by a Sayur rider. They maintain a slight lead for about 2 kilometers.
Maintenant, peloton groupé. Le Monde has been caught. Peloton is all together except for riders coming off the back. The peloton has passed the 5-kilometer mark. 5 kilomètres. Avant Phinney, 5 kilomètres avant Phinney. Information from the top says that it is raining and foggy at the summit.
Raining?
Il pleut à la summit de la montagne. Number 153 has taken the lead. He has 13 seconds in front of the peloton.
Combien? 13?
Chappé est le numéro
Attelé, pause vol.
53. 153. L'écart est 13 secondes. 13 secondes.
Là, c'est Attelé qui a attaqué là.
Right now at 110.4 miles is number 153, 110, 53, and 20. 153 is 13 seconds in front of those 3 riders.
Il y a Brooking juste derrière.
153, avec 13 secondes après, le 110, le 53 et le 20.
53
53 et 20.
110.
Brooking.
53. Fabian Jacke. 20. Grewal.
Grewal. Ah, Grewal, il est là, lui. Il est dans le même temps que Attelé.
Il est le même temps.
Ouais.
Greywall was just behind Kvalsval on GC going into this stage. But now Alexei Greywall and Eric Breukink were being dropped by the young neo-pro Swiss rider from Helvetia, Fabian Jecker. Then Greywall left Breukink. There comes a time when a rider decides which is worse, to be dropped or to explode. Breukink chooses to ride at his pace and hopes he doesn't lose too much time overall.
Attention all team managers, we are approaching being within the last mile.
Up the road, Eric Breukink was being passed by Ronan Pensek. Meanwhile, this pack of riders was nearly 2 minutes down. It consisted of Bauer, Garcia of Sayor, Julich, and Engelman of Coors Light.
53, Roger.
Ouais.
C'est pas...
Non, c'est pas...
Google, hein?
Non, 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 c'est pas vraiment... Oh. He takes the yellow jersey. He wins the stage and he takes the yellow jersey.
Adler.
Adler.
For those of you in English, number 153 has passed the 1 kilometer mark. Number 53 is chasing and is 35 seconds behind the leader. There are different splits all the way back to our present location behind the commissary president's car.
35, huh?
Rider number 153 is the winner of today's stage. Vainqueur pour l'étape est le numéro 153, athlète Cavesville.
Good, you're still overheating though. I had just one on your head.
Well, isn't this a beautiful morning? Seems like a great day to climb back up and over Reed's Gap, which is Wintergreen Mountain, what the riders did yesterday. And then they go another 150 kilometers and end at a 5-star resort hotel, the Homestead. The profile for the stage? Well, let's just say it was painful. One rider who wouldn't have to go through that pain was Nate Reese. His pain was having to abandon with yesterday's crash. In today's stage, we'd see a tremendous effort by Andy Bishop. We would see Z defend their new jersey. And we'd see others take great pleasure in watching Z defend that jersey. And we'd see cycling's new Rico Suave. But enough talk. Here's the Beat Clinic with Stage 7.
But I hawks is a weapon in your hand. And if you want me to, I'll run away with you, run away with you. Just show me what to do. This is the last page of the book I never read. My last hope is hanging by a the screaming I do in my sleep. But now it's come a day when there's no other cheek to turn. And if you want me to, I'll run away with you, run away with you. Just show me what to do. This is the last page of the Bible in my head.
To Bishop, there must have been some consolation in Bauer's stage win, and his most aggressive award would probably please his sponsor. But for him, his effort deserved more. In the world of sports, what he did was nearly heroic. The longest stage race in U.S. racing history. This was to be the battleground to separate the weak from the champions. Surely Kvalsval and his teammates would feel the challenge today by the mighty PDM machine. Nah, there was too much whining in the peloton. Instead, this became the longest pro bike tour in U.S. racing history. I mean, nothing could motivate this pack into riding. Finally, after nearly 7 hours of pedaling, the race officially began. Lamond was one of the designated watchdogs for Z. Note how he anticipates the counterattack and shuts down another Soviet rider by showing him the gutter. An hour later, Canadian amateur Ed Kazmarczyk, you remember Ed, when he attacks on a small roller. He's joined by Subaru Montgomery's Andrzej Mierzejewski and Seyor Zankite. They quickly build a 30-second lead. But it stops there, and as they enter the final kilometers, they're overtaken. After 8 hours, 21 minutes, 9 seconds, Rolf Aldag of Helvetia picks up his second stage victory.
Gorgeous trophy, and of course the bouquet of flowers. Thank you, Betty.
At just 23 years old, Rolf Aldag seems to be part of the next wave of young studs emerging on the international scene. His victory here demonstrates his prowess as a sprinter, and his overall GC placing makes him one of the truly great riders of the years to come. Morning arrives, and it's another day of defense for these seasoned pros. It's clear that the amateurs and neo-pros have made their mark on this year's Tour DuPont.
On this stage last year, we made ESPN coverage. We were tossing a penny around.
And they said not much has been made of the amateur team.
Hey,
not much has been made. Not much has
Livermore with 1-0.
Hey, don't do that.
That's our secret.
Right here.
Miami, Florida.
Charlie I.
Coconut Grove. God bless America and the Cuban people.
Well, Lance will need those secret weapons today. First attack, 3 minutes into the stage. Z was not happy with Jesper Roy. School kids who should have seen a slow procession of riders leaving Winchester instead saw Nico Verhoeven off the front, then passed by Steve Bauer. But Z was chasing down everything.
Basically, they're just making a statement that they're in control of the race, so you got to wait until they start getting tired or start to falter. Sometimes that takes days. You wait until they start having fewer guys up there, and then you start wasting them by attacking them, and pretty soon they have to go harder and harder. And after a few days of that, they start getting fried. That's what happened to the Russians last year. Just waited till the last 2 days of the race, let the Russians basically work every day, all day long. When the hard hill came, they put the hammer down, and all the Russians just blew up because they were cumulatively all fatigued.
PDM team have a strong team too, and Broking in a very good rider. And the problem with Broking for me is he go faster during the time trial, and he's better than QUEVEDO.
Eladio Mbite Vemai did manage to get away. He was more than 30 minutes behind on GC, and no one really cared. What was a threat was this break. The Soviets were team time trialing off the front. They didn't have much of a gap, but it was a significant move, to which Greg LeMond tried to join in. Not thrilled with the accelerated pace was Phil Anderson of Motorola. You see, once again, Andy Bishop was off the front soloing to try to catch Mbite, and it looked good, till this chase. He was swallowed up just outside of Harrisburg. Bishop had soloed to victory on this stage of the Tour de Trump last year. This year, the huge crowd in Pennsylvania's capital city cheered on a 21-year-old neo-pro from Madrid, Spain. Mbite finished exactly 6 minutes ahead of the pack. With just 2 stages remaining, everyone expected Saturday's circuit race to have an effect on the standings. The Team GC was tight, with Sayur just a 9-second lead over Coors Light. But for Coors, the fundamental concern wasn't Team GC. It was making sure Pensick or Aldag didn't gain any time on Greywall's third-place position. As for the second-place rider, Eric Breukink and his team, things were getting a little weird.
They're not even here. They're lost, so I think we're going to be delayed a little.
Yeah, Mark, come back with your location, a street sign or a corner or wherever you are. Come up here. Up.
Yeah, the PDM vehicle is 2 blocks up from the start.
Up? Up from the start, in front of the start.
In front of the start.
Copy, okay.
Eric. Everybody go now. Team time till the whole day.
Riders, ready? We're underway, ladies and gentlemen, of Stroudsburg. Put your hands together. Cheer them on. They have got 3 tough laps to go. The race is on the line today, stage 10 of the Tour de France.
We took the wrong way.
Yes?
Yeah. Somewhere, I don't know where. But,
Understood? No.
Yeah. And then in the end, the way was closing at a nightclub. It was closed. So I said, let's go to the start.
Well, PDM was getting some crap for getting lost and delaying the race by 8 minutes, but quickly Jan Giesper's attention returned to the business at hand.
I hope that they start attacking now.
How much time do you think you have to take off of Eric's 48 seconds to really have a really good shot tomorrow in the time trial?
Yeah, I think it should be 15 seconds less than now. So between 30-35 seconds. Then there is a possibility. 48 seconds is maybe a bit too much.
But despite Giesper's hopes, the pace was slow and uninteresting for the first half of the race. Z was in complete control at the front.
Het goed kans voor die zetjes als er eentje wegrijdt. Gewoon één keer proberen. Op een goede moment. Klein kastje, een beetje stilvalt. Een beetje van achteraf demareren zo. Van de 20e, 30e plak af. Full speed.
What did you tell your rider, Jan?
To try to open the race a little bit. Because it's too close. It's locked now. All riders are looking to the Z riders. And it's a boring race like this. I like more action.
And he got action, as de Backer quickly built up more than 3 minutes on the downhill kilometers going into the end of the second lap. There was just one lap to go.
Martin, if somebody attacks, has to be a PDM rider in the wheel immediately, because otherwise you have to chase, you know? Then he stops immediately. It costs time for the backer, eh? Tell Van Aert also, eh?
Then a strange alliance was seen at the front of the peloton. Joining Z in the chase was Motorola.
I have to thank you for this.
There's 2 left there.
We did it. You know what we did after Andy?
93.2 miles. Rider 1112 has been caught. Rider 1112 has been caught.
It's really stupid that Motorola is chasing us. It should left the work for the other teams who have to chase. They don't have to chase. How should they do it? Kill the whole team.
On the fast downhill roads to the finish, no one could get away, and Eric Breukink knew this better than anyone.
Big job cut out for himself, huh?
Yeah, more his time trial. Yeah, I think that in the condition he's now, it will be too much, 48 seconds. Normally 30 seconds, 35 seconds should be good enough. But 48 on a specialist like Qualsfall, he's in top form now, that guy, and I think he will be the winner of the first DuPont Tour.
It looks like Davis Phinney in the points leaders jersey coming up the right gutter. Looks like behind him, more running rider. Who is it? Coming out of the picture. That looks like Sean Kelly. We see a PDM. Here they come into the final 200 meters. It looks like Bauer and Motorola coming around Phinney. Here he comes.
Indeed, Steve Bauer of Motorola did beat Davis Phinney in the last sprint of the 1991 Tour DuPont. It was a great win for Bauer and Motorola.
That feels pretty good.
For Davis Phinney, his second-place finish capped off a dominating sprint performance, which helped him capture the DuPont Automotive Sprint Leader jersey, which he wore from start to finish. He analyzes the last sprint.
I just took off a little bit too far out and had old Steve Bauer on my wheel. I figured there's only one guy who could hang on my wheel, you know, through a hard turn like that and then all the way over the finish, and had to be Steve Bauer. So he greased me the last 50 meters, and you know, I thought I had it for a while, but once he sort of slipped by, I knew I was dead.
Anderson, he knocked you off.
Yeah, before that.
For PDM, this was not the day they anticipated. They would now have to place all their hopes into the time trial. Just 25 kilometers in Eric Gorking's legs.
Il est pas capable. Moi, je passais une pied.
As he prepared himself for a morning practice ride on the final time trial course, Eric Gorking's intense concentration was already evident. This course fit him perfectly. It was technical and rolling.
It's good enough. The circuit is good enough. There should be a lot of wind. 1 o'clock. But you never know.
Yeah.
If he's super, he can make it. If not, okay, we'll see.
If the PDM team had hated yesterday's omen of arriving late to a race, this morning's locked gates through a section of the course was not the sign they wanted to see.
Great. Ready to roll. Good course. Really good course. It's going to be tough, though. It's so technical, you know.
A lot of turns. I just rode it. PDM. A lot of turns, a lot of little hills, you know, that's the big one.
Yeah, the thing, yeah, that's a big concern. It's just the technical aspect, because I see a lot of crashes or flat tires, stuff like that, you know, which, I don't know, is a great thing to have in a time trial where so much is at stake, but I guess the luckiest and the strongest guy is going to win today. Just hope it's me.
You're sitting pretty well, man. Jan Vespers of PDM. Going to be giving you a call, man. A lot of good things to say about you.
All right. See you there.
Take care, man.
The time to be in the time trial.
Le Mans turning in the fastest time so far really charged the crowd and also put that deja vu element into the air. Valswell had 50 seconds to play with. It was going to come down to the last two riders, their experience, determination, and maybe luck. Greywall, not known for his time trialing ability, would need a great effort to hold his position in third place. Having a rider like Sean Kelly on your team is immeasurable. Here he's giving Eric some last-minute advice and warnings about the course.
Yeah, and there's a lot of roads going to the left and the right, and there's a lot of cones. And it's not good light, so be careful there. You know, you can make. I always go on the wrong road there. So just there to take a little bit easier.
You did the good road tomorrow.
Yeah, this morning was a good road. Yeah, a lot of good road. Just this morning we go slowly there, and now it's so fast.
Weet je goed concentreren daar.
A little bit more, a little bit easier there, and then it's perfect.
How is time?
Time's okay, yeah?
Le Mans has shown the pre-Tour de France form he has hoped for, in some ways better than he hoped for. It's been his best performance in the States in years.
They've got it right there.
Seconds away from the start. Let's see Eric take a keep off.
2 minutes later, Alec Kvalsval will lead. Riding just behind him, Roger LEGAEY in the team car. Erik Burkink is regarded as one of the greatest time trialers in the world. His focus, concentration, combined with fluid-like rhythm and form make him difficult to beat when he's at his best. But 50 seconds over 25 kilometers may be too much for even him.
Allez, encore, allez! Je crois qu'il a 14 secondes de retard. Pas trop grand, 14 seconds.
LEGAEY is not happy with Kvalsval's form. He's not shifting at the right times, and he's trying to turn too big a gear. With the 5-kilometer split, he's already 14 seconds behind Burkink. Erik Burkink continues to stretch his lead as the news of his split times filter back to the start-finish line.
You got monitor. I don't know.
You beat me, man.
What time did you do?
36. That's good. It's a break.
What?
33 seconds out.
On me?
No, on
Rookie is?
What is it? What was the distance?
I don't know. He's probably already halfway.
15 minutes out.
Yeah,
with 33 seconds on it.
Well, all the time. It's where you're going to gain all the time. Yeah. The first 15 minutes.
Then the luck that has plagued PDM continues. Erik Burkink flats. By the time he's back up to speed, his lead is down to 15 seconds. Because of the flat tire, he's lost 25, and probably any shot at winning the overall. Kvalsval is receiving constant encouragement from his coach, and he's getting split times from his teammates along the course. The news is somewhat better. Though they're not aware of Burkink's flat, they do know that Kvalsval now trails by just under 25 seconds. What they don't realize, and it is hard to comprehend, but in the 1 kilometer immediately after Burkink's flat, he regained an amazing 9 seconds back over Kvalsval. For U.S. amateur Bob Jork, this was to be his greatest performance ever. His final time trial moved him into 5th place overall. On the final climb, Burkink seemed to be getting stronger. There were just 5 kilometers to go. Rolf Aldag turned in the second best time of the day behind Le Mans. The Helvetia rider could clearly move up on GC. It was just a question of how far. Kvalsval has not been himself all day. On the final climb, he reaches down to shift to an easier gear. Then for some reason he doesn't and continues to muscle the gear he's in. He's laboring and LEGAEY knows it, but after 1,801 kilometers, the two riders are separated by just 1 second overall. Kvalsval must put everything into the final 5 kilometers. Burkink is inside the last kilometer, and the course ends on a painfully long uphill. As Graywall hears the crowd's encouragement up the final straightaway, a rider is seen behind. Breukink is catching his 2-minute man. He has turned in the best time of the day, but Eric Breukink knows the flat has probably cost him any chance at the overall victory.
Is it the best time?
Right now, best time. Huh? Even zitten.
Valsval enters the last kilometer.
Allez, come on! Allez! Encore! Encore!
It's going to be close. He had 49 seconds to give.
Dat kan ook de hele spel kosten, weet je?
Ja, te veel niks aan.
Maar het was goed, hè? De tijd was toch gewoon fantastisch. Wat de tijd? 34-51.
Ja, die andere met 35-40 geloof ik. Dan wordt het even spannend.
Wel de tijd.
Valsval's time to beat, to become the 1991 Tour DuPont champion, is on the left. His running time is on the right.
Come on, Wilmington. This is it. This will be the finish for Valsval. Watch him on Big Ball. Valsval up out of the saddle. Valsval
10 seconds.
Ja, maar hij is aan hier hoor. Nee.
Straight through, please. Straight through, please.
Overal?
Straight. Can you ask him to move through,
What?
please?
How much?
By 9 seconds.
We need to get the cars out of here.
Let's go.
Forward to mid. Loose hoor. De buur. De buurt dat daar nu.
Of, zit hem in. Oh, het is.
Van straks weer om dat.
Oh, het is het.
So there you have it, what's been called the most exciting stage race in U.S. history. I hope you enjoyed it. I want to thank everyone who helped in putting the race on, covering it, or racing in it. Oh, and I've got to thank the marshals, because they'll kill me if I don't. And now here's some music by Urban Blight, the credits, and the awards. Some of them are official, and some of them are unofficial.
Try. You say you do it now, then you do it later, if at all. Well, it's a routine, a machine, so why deceive? Yeah, why deceive? Cause someone's waiting, someone's always waiting. And I've got 3 more roses, I've got 3 more roses for you. Shoot so-called truth that's making me shiver. And I've got 3 more roses. I've got 3 more roses for you. Shoot-doo-doo-doo, baby. Just 3 more minutes and I'll have 1 whole hour. Nothing's lost 'cause there ain't no cost except time. Just 3 more roses, well it's a feeling of you when I'm thinking of you. Nothing's lost, there ain't no cost except time.